Good evening, guys. Bill McMillan here with NDWX.com. Quick video update here. Wednesday evening, we've got low clouds in place and a couple of scattered flurry reports across central Indiana, but most of us are dry. It's a chilly night out there as temperatures currently are in the lower 30s. And really, as we go through the next couple of days, it's a quiet but colder weather pattern. Some upper level energy may team up with the reinforcing Arctic cold moving in on Friday to create a couple of snow flurries or scattered snow showers. All in all, though, it's really not a big deal, and we're in a quiet pattern here for the next several days. Cold is the story, certainly much colder than what we've been dealing with, but as you can see here, high pressure remains the dominant weather feature, and quiet times will carry us into the first week of 2016. Hard to believe we're talking about the first week of 2016, but beginning week 2, as we've been mentioning, we've got some interesting times developing. We'll talk about that here a little bit later. Again, the big story in the short term, if I could speak, is the cold kind of coming in here in two surges as we go to close out 2015 and welcome in 2016. Tomorrow, we're going to notice probably a mostly cloudy day with maybe a scattered snow flurry. Cold day as well, as highs top out in the lower 30s for most of us, and then reinforcing cold air comes in here to open up 2016 on Friday again with some upper level energy. We may see a couple of scattered snow showers across the area. Highs probably don't make it much out of the 20s on Friday, and then we'll dip into the upper teens likely to start the day on Saturday. We've got some changes, though, as we go from week 1, which is, again, now that we've dealt with all the heavy rain of this past week, we're going to have some much-needed dry time as things kind of begin to align themselves in a potentially more active winter weather pattern going in deeper and deeper into January. We've been talking about the first couple of weeks is certainly colder than what we've been seeing, but is not yet the sustained cold wintry condition type pattern that we think lies ahead from really mid-month, probably through February and into March. The GFS ensemble show this abnormally dry and quiet pattern that we're heading into now, beginning to turn around a little bit here, again, as we go into week 2 with an active southern stream. And I want to see if I pulled this up so I could show you. We put this out a couple of days ago, and we've got a pattern that's going to be more conducive, at least for more interesting time of things from a winter weather perspective coming up here as we go into probably next weekend and the beginning of the following week. A really active pattern here with an active southern stream, a developing negative Arctic oscillation. So you get the overall kind of sense that we're going to be dealing with more and more active times as we go into week 2. And sure enough, the latest GFS is showing that storm system coming out here across the southern and central plains going into next weekend and scooting across the lower Ohio Valley. This would be a favorable track for snow across the area. That said, we'll pause right there and say we're going to continue to see a wide range of solutions from run to run with all of our forecast models. It's really important, I think, when you're going into wholesale pattern changes to focus more on ensemble data and maybe not so much on the operational side of things. Interesting to look at for sure, but when you start talking about week 2 and further down the road, you're going to see some pretty wild solutions that flip-flop time and time again before the models really get a grasp as to what's going on here. Overall, nothing's changed with our thinking. First couple of weeks of January, colder than what we've been, but not yet that sustained cold that we think lies ahead for late month, and really on into February. Guys, that will do it for the evening update. We hope you have a wonderful New Year's period. Stay with us as we continue to track potentially a rather interesting storm system coming up here next weekend into the following week that may not have some winter weather issues to deal Indiana. We'll talk with you soon. Have a wonderful evening. This is Bill McMillan with NDWX.com.